Well, we concluded our home series, our last 3 home contests today with a good win over actually a very talented team. Ball State came in here a little tired after their game at Northern, and they had a great win over there. So they came in 2-0. We came in 1-1. Proud of our kids' effort today because this was a difficult prep in regards to what Ball State does offensively and defensively. They run a plethora of offensive plays that we're not used to, and they have a lot of screening action. We worked very diligently as a staff and as a team to try and learn as many as we could. Defensively, they did a handful of things. They did a 1-3-1, they did an extended 2-3 zone, they trapped our ball screens a lot, they had a different rotation than what we're used to seeing. So with that said, I thought we were able to keep our composure and still score even in the second half. But the opening start I felt was the difference in the game, obviously. The energy that Lex Rogers brought at the very beginning set the tempo, and then when you were able to sub in Allison Pappenfuss in, between the two of them, Allison ran the floor extremely hard tonight, and Lex, I thought, got a lot of easy shots on the inside, but they were able to build a lead at halftime, and I knew Ball State would come out strong in the second half, and that's when they did a lot of their defensive adjustments. But really happy with our overall effort today, and this was a tough stretch for us. Like I said, we're concluding this home stand, and now we're on the road, but we've got a well-earned day off tomorrow.
You talked about the preparation for Ball State, which was a physical thing. What about mental preparation, about being able to put the Toledo game behind the team? Did you talk to them at all about that? Or?
I've told the team, just like every other game, that even after the Dayton game, you celebrate for one day. After the UCF loss, it's one, think about it for one day and move on. You just don't have time. I mean, we're in conference play where it's game, day off, 2 days prep, game, day off, 2 days prep, and you have to focus. This was a difficult scout for us because they just do so much. They have, like I said, Nathalie Fontaine, who I think is going to be one of the in the running for the freshman of the year, if not freshman of the year for Ball State. She's a foreign player from Sweden. She can attack the ball from the perimeter and score inside with her length. She is a complete finesse player, and I thought she would give us some difficulty, and we were able to take away her right hand. I thought we did a good job and had her scouted pretty well, but this Ball State team is really talented. They have had a couple kids redshirt this year, but they were 2-0 with 2 great wins over Miami at home and then at Northern. That's a very difficult place to play. So this game, I thought, would honestly come down to the wire. They are a very talented team. Brady Sally is a tremendous coach. He came from Eastern Illinois. He used to be with Bob Lindsay and company at Kent State. So that's a staff that knows our system inside and out. So like I said, I was fully prepared for this game to come down to late in the second half. I was excited that going into it that we had more depth than they did, and that made a big difference when you get 42 points from your starters and 38 from your bench. That was a good night, but we were able to sub in and out a lot tonight, and that really helped.
There was a lengthy discussion at mid-court following the game. Was that anything of note, or?
Brady's a fantastic coach. I know him. I was asking him about his family, how they're doing and adjusting to Muncie. And he, like I said, he's been in the league, and I know him well. He's good friends with Coach Miller as well, and I told him his team is fantastic, and I'm going to vote for Fontaine for freshman of the year, even though I haven't had a chance to see everybody. But as of right now, she has my vote. But I was congratulating him and asking him about his family.
How much of that start, Coach, do you think was getting some frustrations out from that Toledo game?
Honestly, I don't think a whole lot. I know people, that would be probably the marquee story or the marquee headline to talk about, getting the frustration out or putting that one game behind you and now coming out strong. Honestly, it was one game. We've got 13 more conference games, and we need to focus on those. And Ball State does a lot of things defensively that can give us trouble, so I wanted to get out and run a lot before they could set up, and they were able to do that. They did some things to us defensively that we got some easy hoops in transition. They love to switch 1 through 5, and I thought we were able to get some slips and get some easy hoops in the first half. But like I said, that could be a marquee headline, but I don't think that is the correct headline. This game, our kids were focused on Ball State. Definitely a different atmosphere. It was a lot quieter in here tonight. I mean, you have 2,000 less people, you know, and I think the loudest cheer was when the kid hit the half-court shot for tacos. But, you know, and I missed that, so I'll have to go back and see that. So it was a different atmosphere, but the importance of this game is just as important as any of the previous conference games we have played.
What were you guys doing defensively in the early going that was so effective against them?
I thought we were well scouted. We scouted them well, and we were able to take away a couple of their strengths. They set a tremendous amount of stagger screens, on ball screens, away screens, off the ball screens. They have a kind of a motion series. I thought our kids did a good job talking defensively, and we did switch more than normal in the first half compared to other games, and that was, Jesse Fleming made that adjustment. I'm probably a little bit more conservative and wanted to do it the way that I'm used to, but it was easier for our kids to switch because of how much they, honestly, running around, they do at the offensive end. They just wear you out and wait for you to make a mistake defensively. And Brittany Carter did that in the second half. She wore us out a couple possessions and was able to get her 3 off, and she was fantastic from the arc. She was 3 of 7, and her range is the NBA range, and she shoots almost 42%. So she had a good night for her, and we made it a point to try and take away her 3 and frustrate her a little bit, but she is such a good player. She was still able to get 3 up on us.
Going forward, how important was it to just literally step on somebody like this tonight?
You want to win at home. It's very difficult to win on the road in this conference, and you just have to take care of business at home. And we told the kids our schedule is very top-heavy with home games in January and December, and now we're going to be on the road a lot, so you have to take care of business at home, and we were able to do that today.